Good afternoon. This is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. I am on World War II recipe yet. These are recipes that the people used during World War II when they were rationing all the food. And I think we will probably be better off by having some of these recipes. So when our shortages become too bad or we can't afford the food anymore, we will have some recipes to fall back on. This one is soft sugar cookies. 1 cup of shortening, half butter, 3½ cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of buttermilk, 3 eggs. Now you remember most of these recipes will have eggs in it, even though we're having a problem in the United States with no eggs. But most of the people at that time had their own chickens, so they had eggs. Or they knew someone who had chickens, so they could swap eggs. Okay? 2 teaspoons of baking soda, a pinch of salt, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Cream together the shortening, sugar, eggs, and salt. Dissolve baking soda in the buttermilk. Alternately add buttermilk and flour. Mix well after each addition. Add the vanilla. Drop by generous spoonfuls onto a greased cookie sheet. Bake at 400 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes. Sprinkle sugar over the tops of the cookies immediately after removing from the oven. Remove to wire wraps. Another note on eggs. If you can find eggs that are on sale, and always happen to be on sale again this week, we're really lucky. Every other week, basically, eggs are on sale up here at our local store. I think it's probably simply because they can't find anything else to bring us. So I always grab the eggs, and I always grab at least 3 to 4 dozen. And today I just finished putting 3 dozen in the freezer. So you can freeze them. I beat them all up, and then I put them in Ziploc bags. I lay them flat, and I put them in the freezer. When they're all done, then I transfer them to a bigger bag. But anyway, they can be frozen. So, and you can also be dehydrated, but we'll go into that later. Biscuit Topper. 1 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of butter, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1/4 cup of milk, 1½ cups, it should be teaspoons, I'm sorry, teaspoons of baking powder. Boy, that would really be anyway. 1 beaten egg, and sugar to sprinkle on top. Sift together the flour, sugar, the 1 tablespoon of sugar, and baking powder. Cut in butter until the coarse crumbs form. Mix together the milk and the beaten egg. Add all at once to the flour butters mixture. Stir just until moistened. Drop by spoonful on the top of hot fruits. Sprinkle with sugar. Bake at 400 degrees until the topper is done. And now you will see the next recipe. You will see why I put the topper in there, if I can get it out here. Peach cobbler. 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch. 1/3 cup of brown sugar. 1/2 cup of cold water. 4 cups sweetened sliced peaches. 1 tablespoon of butter. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And your biscuit topper. Mix the first 3 ingredients in a saucepan. Add peaches. Cook and stir until thickened. Add the butter and the lemon juice. Pour into an 8-inch round dish. Add the biscuit topper as directed. Bake at 400 degrees until the topper is done. Glazed carrots. 4½ cups thinly sliced carrots. 3 tablespoons of sugar. 1/2 cup of water. 6 tablespoons of butter. Place carrots in a covered baking dish with the water, sugar, and the butter. Bake at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Victor Garden vegetable medley. 1 eggplant, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 4 large onions sliced, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 4 tomatoes, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, 4 tablespoons of margarine or butter. Peel and slice the eggplant 1/4 inch thick. Cut the slices in half. Peel the tomatoes and slice. Arrange in layers in a buttered casserole. Sprinkle each layer with salt and pepper. Top with crumbs. Dot the crumbs with margarine or butter. Bake at 350 degrees for about 1 1/4 hours. Corn fritters. 1 1/3 cup of flour, 2/3 cup of milk, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 egg beaten, 3/4 teaspoons of salt, 1 1/2 cups of whole kernel corn drained. Sift the flour, baking powder, and salt together. Blend the milk and the egg together. Add the milk, egg mixture to the flour mixture gradually, mixing well after each addition. Stir in the corn. Drop mixture by spoonfuls in the deep, hot fat. Fry for 2 to 5 minutes until brown. Drain on towels. Serve with maple syrup if desired. Red and green rice. 4 cups of hot rice. 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine. 1 1/2 cups. 1/4 cup of chopped green peppers. 1/4 cup of sliced green onion. 1 jar of pimentos. Salt and pepper to taste. In a warm serving bowl, toss hot rice with all the ingredients until the butter or the margarine is melted. Serve immediately. Scratchers. 5 to 6 eggs, 2 cups of flour or pancake mix, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 cup of milk, a tossed salad, and peach slices. I would use just plain old the complete pancake mix in this one. Forget about the eggs, forget about the oil, forget about the milk. Just use the complete pancake mix. Mix together the eggs, flour, and oil, and milk. Add more flour if the batter seems too thin, or if batter seems too thick, add more milk. Place oil in the skillet and cook pancakes. Brown both sides of the pancakes. With a knife and a fork, scratch pancakes until they are cut up in the skillet. Set them aside and keep warm. Repeat until all the batter has been used. Serve the scratchers over a salad tossed with oil and vinegar, and top with sliced peaches. Candied yams. 4 medium sweet potatoes. 1/2 cup of margarine. 3/4 cup of light brown sugar. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/3 cup of water. Cook potatoes and skin in boiling water for 20 to 30 minutes, or until tender but still firm. Peel the potatoes and cut into thirds. Melt the margarine in a skillet. Add the sugar and salt. Stir until smooth. Add water. Add the potatoes and turn to coat on all sides. Cover, cook over a low heat for 20 minutes. Another thing with your sweet potatoes, you can dehydrate your sweet potatoes and then powder them. And you can use that powder as a substitute for flour. Or whatever else you want to do it for. So there are a lot of recipes out there if you look for them. Another thing that I was told like yesterday was zucchini. Now gardening is coming up. Zucchini. And everybody has so much zucchini that they don't know what to do with it generally. And they try to give it away. And nobody wants it because they've got some anyway. But one of the things that came up in one of the comments that I read in one of the channels I follow, and they said that dehydrate your zucchini and then powder it. And you can use your zucchini powder up to 1/3 cup of flour. Substitute 1/3 cup of zucchini powder for 1/3 cup of flour. And they claim you can't tell the difference in the taste. So that's something to be thinking of when you're planting your garden. Maybe you should, instead of one plant, maybe you better plant 2 plants so you can use it for zucchini powder, zucchini flour, because you all know with the wheat crisis we have going on, flour is going to be hard to find. Cucumbers with pasta. 1 pound of cucumbers, 1.5 pounds of tomatoes, 1/2 cup of chopped red onions, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, 1 tablespoon of chopped basil, 1/4 cup olive oil, 1 pound of spaghetti, salt and pepper, 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar, and grated Parmesan cheese. Peel and seed the cucumbers. Dice the cucumbers into 1/4 inch pieces. Toss with 1/2 teaspoon of salt and the wine vinegar. Let set for 20 minutes and then drain. Peel, seed, and dice tomatoes. Combine the tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, garlic, parsley, basil, and olive oil. Set aside. Boil the spaghetti until al dente. Toss hot spaghetti with the cucumber tomatoes mixture and sprinkle with your grated Parmesan cheese. The reason we're seeing all these vegetables here is because they had their victory gardens. They all grew gardens, so they would have all their fresh vegetables. And that meant there was more for the soldiers. Okay? I don't know how many more we got to go here. Cheese casserole. 1 pound of cheddar cheese shredded. 4 eggs slightly beaten. 9 slices of day-old bread with the crust removed. 3 cups of milk. 1 teaspoon of dried mustard. Salt and pepper to taste. 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. That gets me every time. 1/4 cup of onion finely chopped. 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. Cut 3 slices of bread to fit the bottom of a greased 2-quart casserole. Sprinkle with salt and pepper. Half the cheese and half of the onion. Continue layering, ending up with a layer of bread. Mix together the eggs, milk, dry mustard, and Worcestershire sauce. Pour over the casserole. Refrigerate 3 to 4 hours, up to all day. Remove from the refrigerator 2 hours before baking to bring it to room temperature. Sprinkle Parmesan cheese over the top of the casserole. Bake in a preheated oven of 325 degrees for 50 to 60 minutes. Welsh rabbit. Welsh rabbit. I call it Welsh rabbit. 1 cup of sharp cheese grated, 3/4 cup of milk, 1 tablespoon of butter melted, 1 egg slightly beaten, 1 teaspoon of mustard, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Again, melt the cheese in a double boiler. Mix the mustard in the cornstarch. Moisten the mustard and cornstarch mixture with the milk. Add the remaining ingredients. Stir and cook until thickened. Serve over torch. Cod fish with cheese. 4 cod fillets. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. 1 tablespoon of chopped onion. 1 1/4 cups of fine breadcrumbs. 4 tablespoons of butter. 1/4 cup grated cheese. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 cup of milk. Sprinkle the fillets with 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Place in a buttered shallow baking dish. Saute the onion in butter until lightly brown. Add the rest of the seasoning, breadcrumbs, and cheese to the onions. Toss lightly with a fork to mix well. Spread over the cod fillets, pressing firmly on the fish. Pour the milk around the fish. Bake in a preheated oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. Alright, I got one more. Salmon loaf. 1 pound of cooked salmon. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. 1 teaspoon of butter melted. 1/2 cup of milk. 1/2 cup of sweet pickle relish. And 1 egg. Mix all ingredients together. Put in a greased loaf pan. Bake at 350 degrees for 1 hour until the loaf is firm. That's it for World War II. Tomorrow I'll have some depression ones. Recipes. Yeah, it'll be Saturday already. Holy crap, have the week gone by in a hurry, hasn't it? Okay, what did you do to prep this week? That's going to be my question every day. What did you do? Do at least one thing. You don't have to have money to prep. You can learn to cook from scratch without the processed foods and the processed boxes that we have available today, because in the near future those won't be available. You can learn to garden, plant a new vegetable, plant a new herb, plant herbs. We always use herbs for medicines or for cooking. And if you have the herbs, then you've got everything you need for cooking. Learn to make a fire. You may have to make a fire without your matches and your so forth. Or make sure you can make a fire when it's raining out. Make sure you understand how to you've used and practiced all the cooking methods that you will use if we lose the electricity or if we have to cook outside. Practice those things. Organize your preps so you know where everything is, and so you know what you have, so you know what your gaps are. Those are things you can do every day without spending any money. So, have a good day. We'll see you later. God bless you. Bye-bye.